Okay, then PR number 24940, a resolution of the City of Port Arthur, Texas, adopting the City of Port Arthur's legislative priorities for the 90th session of the Texas State Legislature 2027. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Discussion, Councilmember Doucette?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just had a couple of questions. I looked at it, and then we've talked about it, so it ain't nothing new. Section 3, and we talking about legislative and designated support, and also Section 5, where we're talking about authorization to sign and all letters and petition, okay? Those two things popped up right off the center, because what we need to understand is that anytime anybody, the mayor, or any council member, or anybody go and represent the city, it should be something that has been approved by council. We don't get a chance, because we councilmen, we don't leave and go represent the city without council approval, because when you go, you're speaking because you've been approved. What you're saying has been approved by council. So when we say Section 5, for an example, the mayor and city manager are specifically authorized to sign any and all letters, petition, and other documents on behalf of the city in order to promote the city's legal priorities and agenda. I think it should be upon approval of council. I mean, how we get to sign documents and council don't approve? We don't do that. Anything that's going to say city is approved by council. So, that section there, yeah. If there's going to be some documents, council should know what someone fitness put or say.
Is he gonna offer an amendment or what?
Yes, but let me finish. I might want to have another one, depending on the last thing I had question on is Section 6, where it says, before departing, the mayor or council member must provide written notice to the council, okay? On that one there, that's what we have in our travel ordinance anyway.
Yeah, it's in the order.
I mean, yeah, that's our travel ordinance.
It's the part that we'll come and give a report.
Yeah, so I just wanted, because we have it there already. But Section 5, I'm not, I think it needs to be very clear, because, when this council leave and every council or anybody come after us, they need to understand what is written. So I would like to make a motion to amend Section 5 to just add at the end there, upon council approval.
And let me be clear that anytime we go to the legislator, it's always with approval of the council to be able to, anytime, I think when Councilmember Hamilton went and others, it's been based on the consensus of the council to go speak up for the city at that time.
Okay.
So I think that,
No.
to me, it automatically goes without saying.
No,
But,
but see, that's what I'm talking about, Mayor. We talk about things, but we have to have something that if somebody get into a discussion, we have it written.
okay.
So if this is going to be the guidance of it, that's automatic. Oh, we know. No, let's make it plain and simple,
I'm good
and that's
with
all
that.
it's done. All it's doing.
So you want to
Yes,
provide
sir.
clarity that
There
they're
you
speaking
go.
with- Okay.
There
that's
we
fine.
go. For somebody who's not here, who
I'm
come
sorry.
behind.
Yep.
So I'd like to
I-
make a
I
motion
have-
to amend Section
But I
5.
before we make that motion, I got a couple more lights. Councilmember Lewis, your light
I'm
is
sorry.
on?
Yes.
Okay. And then, do you want to speak now, or you want to wait? City manager has his light on.
Well, he offered up an amendment to that section. I'm not dealing with that section,
Okay.
what do you want to
You have
amend?
something else?
but I have an amendment for a section.
Okay. Let me
No.
hear the city manager, and then we'll come
Oh,
back
let
to
him
your
go
light.
ahead.
City
Yeah.
manager?
Okay, so the last time we worked with legislative priorities, I know this time council is very much concerned about the Sabine Pass area.
Yeah.
And
Highway
that's going to be a priority, a key priority for council. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so does the council, is it the wish of the council? Because the last time the council added a budget of $75,000 to it so that it allows council members, to travel with the exception of the existing travel budget. Now, it may be that more than one council member may want to go up to Austin to represent on that matter, on that very pressing matter. So is it the wish of, my question is it the wish of the council to adopt the very same budget as well? Of $75,000? Is it that for the new, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
City attorney? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Do you want it in the next budget as well? Is it that okay?
Mayor, let me speak on that.
Okay. I'm,
And
okay.
it would just help.
Councilor Mayor Pro Tem
Thank,
Kinlaw.
and thank you, Mayor. I see where you're going with it, Ron, but would it penalize us because we would have to go back as council to approve if we don't have it in the budget? So you're asking if we put it in a separate
Yes.
budget to address the Austin trips
Yes,
and
in the new budget.
legislative type things?
Yes.
So
We could plan for it.
would we be
It
in
would
any type of time constraint if we still had to bring it back before council? You see where I'm going with it? Even
No.
if we don't do it, okay?
Yeah.
Will we be put under a time constraint, or will we have to have a special meeting to send the mayor or
Yes.
you
Yeah.
or council members?
It's a little bit more work.
That's what I'm asking.
It's a little bit more work because the
financial
it
director.
has to do an amendment. We have to do a resolution or an ordinance. So it's a little bit more work. But I mean, anyhow, you want to do it. If you want to do proper
Oh, yeah.
planning,
I think we
could do it.
It's designated, and so you're saying does it have to come like a second time for
second
us to
time,
approve? Yeah.
right,
But I think when you approve it here, it's done.
Yeah.
And so we've got the approval there to be able to go.
You see
We
what
don't know
I'm
how
saying?
soon or how fast or impactful we may have to go. So this gives us the right to be able to get it done.
Okay, I'm good with it.
That's how I see
Okay,
it.
thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Councilmember Lewis?
Oh, yes. What I'm interested in is funding for highway construction, support funding for the construction of a highway connecting Port Arthur to Sabine Pass. I don't know why they worded it that way. Port Arthur is Sabine Pass.
What's that?
But with my amendment, it's on 15.
We ain't on 15.
Yeah, look at the legislative.
No, wait, what section are you talking?
No, this is 11. We talking about now, huh? Oh,
15,
okay.
a resolution of the
All
city
right,
of Port
okay.
Arthur, Texas, adopting the city of
Yeah.
Port Arthur's legislative priorities for the 90th session of the Texas State
Okay.
Legislature.
Okay, so,
This is it here.
yeah, so what do you?
Okay, so what I'm interested in, how do you do that? What I'm offering for an amendment is to connect Highway 87 to Highway 24. And that high island, that's the simplest way to do it. They're not gonna go down there and reopen that old. They're not gonna do it. The simplest thing is to cut across to high island, Highway 124, and intersect there. You turn right, you come to Interstate 10. You go left, you go to Galveston. It's simple, just for their consideration.
Right, Councilmember Doucette? I
Yeah,
don't-
well, on that one there, Councilman Lewis, if we approved this anyway, what you talk about doing is just something we're gonna tell whoever go to work,
To
okay?
work
What's
toward
this
that
now?
avenue.
Whoever decide to go and speak, if someone go,
Let
then
it-
they could do that, but
I want to put it in the language and alert them as to a simpler way of doing it instead of waiting on us to go down there to create something. It's the simplest thing to do is to connect Highway 87 to Highway 24. It's simple.
this is.
That's
this is-
We
this is-
agree with you, but I don't, go ahead.
This is not nothing we sending to the legislature. This just is our resolutions. When we get ready to do it, then we could go and we can address just exactly what you're saying. But
It's
once
gonna be
again,
long.
it's gonna have to it's gonna have to be approved by council
It's gonna be a
and
law.
everything, so.
Oh, we know our legislative agenda, Councilmember Lewis, and what we need to do. This is just an agenda for us to handle going forward, to advocate for what we need.
Right.
And so we will
Okay.
remember and know what
Okay.
you're saying, because we agree that there was another direction
Okay. At
in which this
okay.
highway needs to go.
What you're
And-
saying is, some point in time, we'll identify
Yes,
this.
we will.
I don't have a problem with
Yes,
that,
sir.
okay? But I wanted it clear, understood. You don't
We
just
got
send
it.
this down there,
No,
because they can't even justify doing it, because it says not enough people living down there.
we got you.
Okay.
Okay, we
In,
got you.
in response to this budget, Mayor, we say we saving time, and we refer to our travel ordinance in here. So, it's not about time, and I heard this the last time. You get up and go. We need to follow the legislative process. These bills, when they're coming up, and we need to be able to plan to go. And if we're going to talk and get approval from council, that's going to take time too. See, that's why I'm saying this emergency type running and stuff is just not fitting into what we're talking about here. I'm approving something where we have the ability to have people to go and speak on how. But this overnight, no, that ain't what it's about, because like I said, we had people went last year. They went. I didn't know nothing about what they were going to speak about or what they were going to say. I didn't know, and I was a council member. Okay? So how you going to represent the city as something if council hasn't said, okay, yeah, we want you to go and do that? We as council just don't get up and just run and go and do something because we want to go. No, it's council representing the city. That's taxpayers' money. We need to understand the process. I'm all for this, but it's with a clear understanding. Nobody's going to just get up and go, and nobody else knows about it until they come back. That ain't what I'm not even going there, and that's not what this said, because it refers to the travel ordinance.
Okay, right.
And as long as we follow what's written here,
Let's follow what's written.
okay, then
Okay,
because
let's go. We're ready.
all right, and
Your
that
amendment.
question.
You got your
Okay,
amendment?
yeah, that's just fine. Okay, I'll make a motion that we amend Section 5 just to add at the end upon approval of council.
Okay. We have an amendment on the floor, a motion to amend ordinance, resolution 24940 to add with council's, I need a second. So I got a second. Any questions? All in favor with the amendment, say yes or yes. Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? The ayes have it on the amended motion from Councilmember Doucette. The amended motion passes.